Hello everyone, welcome to Karla Gone Live. I'm Karla Gordy, Bristol, coming to you from Cedars-Sinai Hospital in Los Angeles, California. The famous Cedars-Sinai that many people come to in the Los Angeles area, and they have expertise on transplants, which is why we're here. And I have some wonderful guests here to talk to you about a very important topic, which is transplants, and particularly heart transplants. If you know someone that has gone through this or any type of a transplant, you know that a lot of care is needed pre and post transplant, and we're going to help inform and educate you on that. I have a founder of Ava's Heart Foundation here with me, Miss Ava Kaufman.
Hi everybody.
And I have a recently received your heart recipient, Marisa.
Hello.
She's right here. We're in her room here at Cedars, and I'm appreciative that you let us come in because she's still in a sensitive time. It's very important after you get your organ to take good care of yourself. So
She just received her heart August 19th.
August 19th, very recent. And her mother is here as well. I just drew a blank.
Hi, I'm Sonia.
Sonia. We just met moments ago, but yes, Sonia is here as well, supporting her daughter, and they've been here for 3 months now, right? 3.5 months here at the hospital. Had to uproot, and you're going to hear the compelling story of what they went through. I first want to kind of have Ava tell everybody what does it mean, once someone finds out they have a need for an organ, and it's not just about hearts, everybody. It's all kind of organs. Ava herself received a heart.
I did.
How many years has it been?
I received a heart 9.5 years ago.
9.5 years ago.
On my birthday.
What a present, huh?
Yes.
What a present.
The gift of life. There's a lot that goes with transplant.
We're in a hospital room, so
Yeah, so
will
excuse
be
us.
doctors coming
Please,
in and out through
don't come in right now.
No.
Just bring it back later. Thank you. It was your dinner.
We're in a hospital,
So
it's
sorry.
Live, so
Yeah.
You know how it is in the hospital. Knock on your door every 15 minutes. Right? You don't get any rest.
And trust me, the food isn't worth it, is it? No, food's not
Yes,
good.
so don't talk to Marisa about food right now.
Yeah.
Please don't.
Anyway, I had a heart transplant 9.5 years ago. It was an emergency transplant, as kind of was Marissa's. I mean, I hadn't been ill before, and going through what I went through and the aftermath of it, I realized what was lacking in our healthcare system to assist transplant patients. Like, I never knew that if you didn't have 3 months of post-transplant housing within 30 minutes of your transplant center, you couldn't get listed. So that means if you live in Bakersfield, or you live in Laguna, or you live in Lamponk, or Temecula, or Nevada, where they have no transplants, you have to come here to either Cedars or UCLA or Keck. And so I started thinking that there needed to be someone to help with the non-medical expenses of what goes along with transplant. Transplant is a very different kind of experience because as you're waiting, for this incredible gift of life, you also are aware that someone has to die. And so before we go on any further, I would like to thank my donor family, and I'm sure you'd like to thank yours.
I do want to thank my donor family.
And all the donor families out there. And I just want to share with you that I have found that trying to live my life like my donor is watching me has given me the most amazing gift of giving back. And this foundation means everything to me. And the people whose lives I touch have become friends. And it's kind of like Tom Moon, who is the CEO of One Legacy, the organ procurement agency, said to me once. He said, being a donor or a recipient is definitely not a club that anybody wants to join, right? No. But once you do, the family that is there and the camaraderie is unbelievable. And so welcome to the club.
Yeah, you're in the club.
You're in the club.
And through Ava, and I'm a board member of the Ava's Heart Foundation, which Ava founded after receiving her heart and becoming healthy again and having that energy to go on a mission to really go about helping others after you went through that.
Yeah, and Karla's been amazing. We met through someone, and I asked her to join the board, and she is asked to be on a lot of boards, and so I was really touched and honored that she agreed, especially
After about 3 no's.
after us, you know. I used
No,
it,
no.
but we both had been professional dancers, so there is this thing between dancers. So she couldn't resist, and she
So
did
thank
say
you, Dry
yes.
Jackson, for introducing the two of us.
Yes,
and
yes, yes.
Suggesting that we meet
And we've not only done so much good work together. I mean, Karla is always out there connecting me and doing small fundraisers, and she also hosts the red carpet at our annual Ava's Heart Heroes Ball, which is our fundraiser, which will be happening September 27th.
With Larry
Here's
King as the
the
host.
invite.
It's gorgeous, yes.
You can go to avasheart.org and buy tickets. And most of the money is used to assist transplant families. And believe me, they need a lot of
great
assistance.
Because at the event, they'll meet a lot of transplant families.
And donor families.
And donor families.
This year we started helping donor families as well.
And you have physicians that come as well from Cedars, UCLA.
No,
or
Cedars,
from UCLA.
not from Cedars.
Okay, so from UCLA.
From I'm sorry, I have to say it. Cedars does not support Ava's Heart.
Okay.
Period.
So
UCLA,
supports Ava's Heart.
Children's
and-
Hospital
and
supports
Children's Hospital.
Ava's Heart, and KEC.
Okay. So those are great, and more are learning
And
about what you're doing.
ABC News will be there as well, since Philip Palmer, who is the ABC anchor, is a living donor. I bet you didn't know that. He donated his kidney to his best friend.
So he understands, and he's been very supportive.
And he's very
Sometimes
supportive
it takes, it's not him.
of everything that Donate Life does, and the Run Walk, and there are so many things. So go to avashot.org and you can purchase a ticket or make a donation. All the money that's coming in for the next 2 weeks is going to go to Marisa and her family, and we're also assisting them with post-transplant housing.
Yeah, because I'm going to get into a story, and I'm going to try to get this shot in a little tighter, because I know we're so far away. Oh, that's not a good thing. Oops. That's
no.
not a good thing, what I just did. Bear with me, everybody.
We're still here, everyone.
Bear with me. That's called Karla messing with things. But we're going to get into the story of what happened with Marisa, and this is hilarious right now. That's what I get for trying to get a tighter shot. But what has happened to you while here? I mean, I want to first go back to how you ended up needing a heart. I know you were healthy, you were pregnant with a wonderful baby boy, and delivered a healthy baby boy, and he's here. He's 5 months old now. He's 5 months old, and then about 2 weeks after, what happened?
6 weeks.
We'll talk to Mom for a minute.
Yeah.
Share the story. So, what happened after the delivery of the baby that changed things for you?
She was feeling sick and queasy, nauseation, vomiting. We took her to the doctor, and they just said that she just had the flu bug. She had the flu bug, and sent her home with nauseation and vomiting and all that stuff. And we went back the second and third time, and finally the doctor told her that there was definitely something wrong, and they wanted to admit her to the hospital. And when she went in, she had 5% of her heart left.
5%.
5% of her heart left, and I diagnosed her with it.
So that means her ejection factor was 5%. A normal person's ejection factor, like Karla's, probably is like 80 or 85%. Mine is 75%, which is high for a transplant patient. But 5% is like you're almost dead.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So they had not checked her heart when she came in before, because they thought it was just a flu.
Mm-hmm.
That's something you don't
And she's
typically
a
check. You're
22-year-old.
Just had a healthy baby. You're in the house. Okay. So then she's.
And that's when they diagnosed her with postpartum cardiomyopathy.
Okay.
and-
Tell us what that is. What did they tell you? Had you heard of it before then?
No, I haven't.
It was
I
new.
haven't at all.
You were like, what is this?
And I've done a lot of research on it, and you know, it is a heart disease. You know, I've really done a lot of research, and it would be a novel, so.
Okay. So what's there's just the basic description of what this illness is, this condition.
The common factor, it's a heart disease. Your heart shuts down. You know, it's that
due to-
simple.
And it's always as a result of a pregnancy.
Hers was, yes.
Yeah,
But
well,
it
that's
comes
why
from
they call
different-
it postpartum cardiomyopathy, because it's not that she was born with heart defect or she, had an enlarged heart. Nothing. She had perfect heart.
So
But
something during the
sometimes
pregnancy changes the dynamic
after
of-
childbirth,
The baby-
some
because you're sharing a lot. Of
some
your,
women go into postpartum cardiomyopathy.
Maybe, do you think that they said it had to do with stress on the heart while pregnant, maybe?
Exactly. That's it. That was one of the common factors.
Okay.
Yes.
The type of stress, because it's working.
Well, she had high blood pressure and eclampsia, and at the end of her pregnancy, so she did that.
Okay. Wow.
So towards the end, the last few weeks, 10 months, she did. So they told her bed rest. Basically bed rest is what they gave her.
Huh.
And
Okay,
then
so she came in, they diagnosed her, and they told her just go and rest at home?
they put her
With
in bed rest.
5%?
No, this was before. This was right before when they
okay,
diagnosed her
but
with that.
No, at 5% they admitted her.
They admitted her
right
and
away.
said, did they say right then she needs a heart?
No, they didn't. Lompoc wasn't sure that the care that she was getting in our hometown wasn't quite sure. So that's when they airlifted her over here to Cedars. And that's when we found out.
I just wanted to say that happens to a lot of people that are having heart problems, and they go to their local small town hospitals and they're misdiagnosed, and then they end up being airlifted to UCLA or to Cedars or so.
So a lot of the symptoms of needing an organ or having any type of a failure of the organ or low activity, I guess, is flu symptoms as one. What are some of the others?
Well, it's different for each organ. But in regards, and I'm not a specialist on liver or kidneys or lungs, but but for many people, like, will get a virus, and it'll affect their heart, and it seems to take a while to figure out, what exactly it is.
Yeah. So that's why it's important if you feel
And then there are
that you have
those,
something.
that are born as babies.
Some are born with the defect right away. Yeah, exactly. But a lot of times, I've met a lot of people that you've helped
Yeah,
that were healthy, such as yourself.
right. I was perfectly
and
healthy.
came down with the condition.
I had a rare autoimmune disease that went misdiagnosed for 3 months, and then boom, I was dead too.
So 3 months misdiagnosed. Wow. Okay, so then you came in, and how long did it take? Because a lot of times you hear people have to be put on a waiting list to get an organ and things like that. And it's also, I'm sure, by the severity. You were here, she was in dire need.
She was in
And
dire
so that
need.
moved her. Does that move you up?
Yeah,
basically?
she's been on 1A since she's been here. But there was like a whole process to get there. They thought maybe the Impella or the tandem pump would help, and
Okay.
One of the
artificial heart.
there are many different mechanical devices that are used as a bridge to transplant, and sometimes if someone is so sick, they'll use that so that they can live long enough to get a transplant instead of dying, because 22 people do die every day waiting for life-saving organs. Did you know that?
I did not.
22 people every day. So
For any organ. That's
for
wrong.
any organ. But you okay?
Yeah.
Okay. You sure?
Yeah.
So I know that they tried, right? Didn't they try to see if she could get listed for an Impella or a total artificial heart?
Yeah, that was the total artificial. They gave her the Impella and the tandem, hoping that would try to do somewhat to fix her heart.
Right. I had that too. It didn't work.
Yeah.
And so what I heard from Kelly, who is the most amazing nurse I know, right?
Right.
She's the one who found Ava's heart for this family, and to have an artificial heart put in is very expensive, and then you have to go through the whole thing again to get the transplant. So it's not like the favorite thing for anybody to do, but it does work. I mean, I've helped patients that have had artificial hearts that then got their hearts, and they're doing great. But you had a hard time getting it approved, right?
Yes.
Because she was on Medi-Cal.
So it's more difficult.
Yes. So
Well-
they put her on a bypass, the ECMO, until we could get approved.
So basically, a lot of this, like anything, comes down to the type of insurance you have, and
Absolutely.
what
Yes.
that really can make or break a lot of situations.
But she was lucky. She didn't have to get the total artificial heart.
No, she did have it.
You had it?
She had the total artificial
Oh,
heart.
so you got them.
Yeah, she
I
had
had
the
the
insurance for the first
Oh my
time.
God, I didn't know
in
that.
the US, Medi-Cal
Paid for it.
Paid for
Approved
her.
for me.
Because
And-
they never pay for it.
And the day before she was going on the Freedom Drive with the backpack,
You've seen that.
She got the doctor walked into her room and said, "We found you a match."
Yeah,
What was
because
that moment like when the doctor
I
walked
cried.
in? And did he come in and say it immediately to you? He had this look. Did
He
you tell
said
when he
he-
walked in? Did he look different?
He kept coming in, and he came in like twice. And the third time that he came in, I was just like, well, what's going on here? He walks in and he says, well, Marisa, we think we found you a match.
and then what?
I know. I'm sorry, sweetie. I don't want you to get emotional. I know it's still.
Give me your other hand.
These are relaxing comments. So emotional. I know. It is tears of joy. But we want you to stay relaxed.
So what I want everyone to understand is that having a total artificial heart is not great fun.
It isn't.
It isn't. And what they do is they take out your heart and leave the aorta, and they open you up, and they connect these tubes, and the tubes come out through your stomach, and then they close you up, and they plug into a huge driver that's in the hospital, and you hear it beating like a heart.
It's
But
very loud,
it's loud.
actually.
You've heard it. You've seen people with it, right? And so
It's like a backpack.
when they were talking about the Freedom Driver, once your body gets used to the machine, then they give you the smaller pump, because that's what your heart is a pump, right? And you wear it as a backpack. I had one patient who named hers, and no, really, and she didn't have it in a backpack. She had it in one of those pull things, and she decorated it with
Like a little wheelie
with
basket.
with jewels and gems, and when the week before she got her heart, she said, Ava, we're getting a divorce.
Oh.
So she was divorcing her
Divorcing
Freedom
backpack,
Driver.
yeah.
But anyway, so that's what that is, and it's not fun, and you hear it beating all the time, and there is always the possibility that it might stop. That's why you need a 24/7 caregiver, so that the batteries can be switched out. It's a really,
Batteries, you have to have a charge.
really heavy
So
thing.
much.
I happen to know people that have been listed for transplants who have opted not to get it and would rather die than go through that.
That's what she wanted to do at first until she met somebody, a very important young man she met, and 15 minutes before she went into cardiac arrest, she'd made the decision that she didn't want to deny the TH anymore, and she had it for about almost 6 weeks until she had her
6
heart.
weeks.
Almost 6 weeks. Yeah, about 6 weeks.
So I know that was a happy.
Like the day before we were getting the Freedom Driver, the doctor came in and
Wow, look at that.
I was on my way to go home, too.
yeah.
I was on my way to go home.
I,
Yeah, it's the second time I've been in.
So,
That
so you're going to come to our event, and you will meet the people who made that. They're going to be there.
Yeah, 'cause
Uh-huh.
they came last year.
SynCardia is going. We honored them last year. They're going to be there, and Dr. Arabia is going to be there, who is the king of SynCardia, and he was a doctor here who left, and now he's at. Did the first total artificial heart on my friend Bill Wall 18 years ago at the Mayo Clinic in Arizona, and then Cedars convinced him to come here, because Cedars does more hearts than any hospital in the world, second only to Russia, believe it or not.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Russia's in second
Mhm.
place with the heart transplants.
And but UCLA does more transplants than combined
transplant.
than any hospital
That's
ever.
heart, lung,
Right.
liver,
Pancreas,
kidney.
kidney,
Is that
You
all?
okay?
That's all. That's all.
Yeah.
Any organ.
and double
That's fine.
transplants as
So
well.
All organs.
All
get a
organs.
transplant there,
Yep.
yeah.
And so,
Not ovaries,
yeah,
but
he's going to be there
ovaries.
as well. And then quite a few people that have had the total artificial heart will be there. So,
Yeah.
and Kelly will be there.
It'd be nice to meet them. I
Awesome.
know. You're like, what?
Syncardia, I have done beyond research on that. You know,
They're
The
really
moment-
nice people
As
too.
a mom having this happen, we met you just immediately got on that computer.
Oh,
and just-
absolutely, absolutely. You know, the first time they put a total artificial heart, they put it in a dog. That was the first
the
person
first
they had
test
put
was
it
a
on. It was a
dog.
dog, yeah.
They did it
And it
for
was brought out
45
in
minutes.
He did what?
1937.
He lived.
He did it for 45 minutes to see if it would work.
Yeah, 1937. It was. That's when the
I
invention
didn't know
started.
that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So after 45 minutes, what happened? I mean-
Honestly, I don't know.
I would think that would just, yeah.
They just wanted to test it
They
out
wanted to
on a
see
dog,
if it worked. Yeah, I
see
guess
if it worked. So they
Mhm.
did it on a
And
dog
I know
for
they,
45
what a
minutes.
joyous day that was to realize that they
The first total artificial heart was bigger than a washing machine.
Good Lord.
And if you were attached to it, you had to be in the hospital.
Well, it's like all electronics
Mhm.
products, you know, they make everything really,
Really big, and then they
so
get
they
smaller
get
and
Oh, yeah.
smaller and
Laptops,
smaller.
laptops, cell phones,
Mhm.
everything is big.
She had me take pictures of everything. She's like, make sure you take pictures of everything, Mom, just in case this. And the things were like beyond anything once she woke up out of the coma.
So she has pictures of everything now.
That's wonderful. You do like a
Everything.
whole, yeah.
But look how, I mean,
What
it's,
a
what is it,
great-
August 29th? So it's how
Yeah.
many days? 11
10
days?
days.
10 days?
Right? 19th to the 29th.
And look at you.
10
She's
days.
walking around.
She just received a new heart 10 days ago.
She's a warrior.
She is.
We call her Eminem. Why do we call
I
her
felt
Eminem?
like we had to come in, scrub down.
Oh,
put
Karla
a
was so
mask
funny.
on.
She
That's why you
alcoholed
did your
all of
I
her
alcoholed
equipment.
all the equipment for today. I was just
Great.
all like,
You're
have you
great.
washed your hands? You're over
Of
there
course.
touching her.
Oh, great.
Marissa, I don't want anything to go wrong. I'm just so happy, you know, and you don't want to be in the environment and cause any problems. It's so
Karla
sweet.
is one of the most loving, giving people on the planet, and I'm so blessed that she is involved in our mission because we have a lot of work to do.
Well, I've learned a lot, you know. Of course, everybody hears about organ donors and living donors and all the different options. Everybody knows about having their license. You know, some people opt to
Well, your
put
cousin
the license
is
on there.
a
My cousin Marvin Gaye needed a kidney, and that's the first
Marvin
time
Gaye
I really
Jr.
became very involved. You know, Marvin Gaye,
Absolutely.
so his son
Absolutely.
is my cousin.
You know?
Yeah.
That's it.
No
you know.
way.
Yeah, and so his son.
Wait a second. Her uncle is Barry Gordy from Motown, the Supremes,
told
Michael
you
Jackson.
that.
I'm sorry. You know, she's a
Your
kid.
uncle
She's
lied to
excited.
me
It's the
long
truth.
ago. So my cousin Martin needed a kidney, and
Look at her
it
face.
was very scary. It was really frightening for a while where he may not made it, and I didn't know. Once I found this out at a family Christmas party or something, I was like, his wife told me, I said, what? He said, what's happening? And she goes, yeah, it's not looking good. I said, oh wait, we're gonna talk tomorrow. We're gonna do something about this. What are you doing? You know, no, how do we not know this? So the next day I called her and just started a campaign. I started a Facebook page. You know, just gotta do what you have to do because you can't be a secret needing an organ. You know, you gotta tell the world, hey, I'm trying to live. I need this. Help me out. So I learned a lot through that, and then you know, with Ava, learned so much more. And
we
there's a
all
lot
keep
people
learning.
can do. There's just a lot people can do. They don't have to give an organ to be helpful. They can spread the word. And I personally have no feelings on if people decide to or not. Just like anything, you know, you can't judge. But it's their choice.
No, it's a total
There's
choice.
going to be ample people in anything in life to do whatever it is that needs to be done. But those that need to be educated about it and have interest, let's educate them. Let's tell them. Let's let them know the resources and how they can help. And that's something. And I'm sharing that with the audience as well because you know they need to know. And they can go to avasheart.org, learn a lot more. And you have a book, Ava, that you wrote about the story you went through.
Well, I wrote a book called The Transplant Journey. It's available on Ava's Heart. I mean, it's really like a booklet, and I really, really wrote it for transplant patients and families because I have a lot of other people's stories here as well, just so that because when you find out and you feel like you're so alone and no one's been through it, and you know how am I gonna move from Las Vegas and come here, and
Right.
you know, even people that live in New York now, there's such a shortage of organs in New York that people are told, you know, if you don't want to die, come to
To LA.
Los Angeles. And so, you know, many people can't afford to do
So
that.
housing is an issue with that.
Housing's a
People
huge issue.
have to find a place to stay because you have to get the care, the medicine, and then after you receive an organ, you have to stay close because you need
Exactly.
medication for life.
Right, and Cedars and UCLA are in the most expensive parts of
Of town.
town.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Definitely a very high rent district where hospitals are. But even if you're traveling 45 minutes to an hour, there's gas. And if you don't come from here, you're from New York or another state, you gotta have a place to stay. So people need their rent money and they need all kind of accommodations. And they
You
need
know,
to pay
and
for that medication. All
and-
insurances
And,
go after.
and some families, you know, if you have a baby at Children's Hospital or Mattel Children's, you know, their parents are there with them 24/7. We helped a mother there with her baby, and she was with him for a year, day in and day out, until he was able to get a heart. He was on an LVAD or something. And
And people
you know,
can't work. They can't
you know,
continue
what
working
it
and doing
does to
different
your
things. But you've been here
finances.
for 3 months.
Mhm.
So, you know.
what it does to your finances and your other children, and you know, your husband has to take care of the kids and
Yeah.
going back and
A lot of
forth.
disruption.
You know, it's financially exhausting. You know, people do wait for years. Are you okay?
Oh, you're okay.
Your tubes.
You know,
You're just choking her tubes. It's okay.
no, it's
My
it's just her IV.
It's just an IV.
It's coming out soon
It's coming out
tomorrow. No more.
So speaking of all the needs and fix the complications, while you were here, 3 months you were here, you had a situation happen where your home burned down. Or not burned down, but it caught on fire.
Yeah, cut on fire.
I mean, tell me a little bit briefly. We were just talking about this. I mean, the one thing you're not expecting is while you're here taking care of your daughter, trying to get the heart, finding out all of you just learned of this condition, and you know, you find something like that out on top of everything. It's tough.
Very tough.
It's very tough.
Very tough.
And
Very much so.
you know, you had someone there, and a situation happened where something happened at the house and caught on fire, so you lost a lot. In the midst of all this, which it stings, they should say. That's
Sure,
so
illustrate,
irrelevant.
exactly.
The heart, you give up all that. If someone said, "Give me your house right now," we'll give your daughter a heart. What would you do? You'd run out that house, take it. So I get that. You know, we all have to look at perspective, but you don't get memories and things like that. But you did reach out, and the word is out there. Ava's heart. You're looking for some items. You know, can we say that you were able to?
Yeah, I mean, I've reached out to my friends mostly, and through our Facebook page, anyone who wants to donate anything, any amount of money, food cards, gas cards, food, towels, sheets, furniture. I mean, they have nothing.
And in the midst of going through this, on top of it, because a lot of people in California have lost their home.
Right,
It's just
right.
been
But in the
an
midst of
outrageous year
also
of
going
fires.
through
But
a
to
heart
go through this
transplant,
and not have a home to go to,
it's a lot.
you don't have, so you come here for surgery and then you can't go back home to your place. You have to start over. But you got a new heart, new life.
That's right.
You
That's right.
know?
That's
New
right.
space, new heart, new life.
But
new things,
anyway,
and I
just
think
again,
that's
if
great.
anybody wants to
It's
donate
also something
anything to
positive.
them, they can contact me at 310-779-6616. I'll make sure everything gets to them. Everything, all the funds that are coming in, except for the event, in the next 2 weeks will go to this family.
Yeah, if you designate, we want to help Marisa, put it on my page. If you have, want to grab some clothing, want to buy some towels, what are some of the things that would be helpful for you?
Towels, sheets. Need a refrigerator. The place doesn't have
Refrigerator.
a refrigerator. Yeah.
You may work at one of the companies.
Dishes,
that can maybe
silverware.
donate one of these to the family, dishes.
A television, a
just
computer
a
for her,
television, yeah. So if you have an extra TV that's sitting around that you haven't needed, flat screen.
baby
something-
clothes for
I'm
her.
saying flat screen because
baby-
I've been
baby
throwing away
clo-
on my big TVs. It's like everybody says, throw it away, Karla.
Baby clothes for a little
That's right.
boy.
We got the little Liam.
Diapers.
Yeah, we got little baby Liam's 5 months old, so lots of baby stuff. Yeah.
I'm trying to
He's
feel-
a chunker.
almost
He's
5
in
months
like
old.
1-year-old clothes.
He's a 1-year-old club.
Oh my God,
He's
really?
Nine
Oh
months
my
to a
gosh.
year.
Nine
Yeah.
Oh my
months to
God.
a year now, so for a
That's
little
him
boy.
right here. If y'all can see
So
it
you
in the
can
back
see
of the wall.
behind, yeah, the picture. All these great pictures. Of
Yeah,
him.
you can
This little
tell.
chunky monkey.
There's so many boards of little Liam. This is Liam.
Oh yeah, that's the
little
little
Liam. That's him. So there's a picture also in my comment section on Facebook if you want to see the picture, and just feel free if you want to help support, or if you have any organizations that you're affiliated with that may want to, donate, step up. We really would appreciate it. I think it'd be really nice for this family and for others, because it's unfortunately too common that people have situations. And at Ava's Heart, to go and support what they're doing, helping many families.
And it's like I always say, life can change on a dime, and it did for me, and it did for you.
That's right.
Absolutely. Well, I'm so happy to be here. And can we hear just a few words from you? Are you okay? I know we got it pretty emotional. Just to say something to everybody.
I don't really know.
All right, I'm going to ask you a question. If you could meet one person that would mean so much to you, who would you want to meet?
My grandma. So see her one last time.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, she's watching over you, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Angels of Air.
Angels are there.
You can talk to her all the time and know she's reacting. Just because we can't see someone doesn't mean they're not there and caring for you the same.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Karla. You're amazing.
No.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I want you to keep getting stronger, and I look forward to seeing you on the red carpet. carpet
Mhm.
at Ava's Heart Foundation
That's
Ball.
right.
It's such a fun evening. So many people. Ava just works so hard on that event every year. She needs more help. You need a whole team.
I
and
have a
great
pretty
board.
good team,
You
and
got a
we
good
have
team.
Vincent Patterson directing,
Yes.
and this year we're so honored to have Darren Hayes from Savage Garden performing
Savage Garden.
live for the
Yeah.
first time.
Say what?
Performing live for the first time in 5 years.
Yeah.
He's a
You
very-
like that group Savage Garden. Very
Oh,
good.
you're a Darren Hayes fan?
He's going to be performing at Ava's Heart Foundation.
I mean, this year I have to say, I have people calling me from all over the country coming to support Ava's Heart to hear Darren sing 2 songs. Seriously.
The
Shout out to
reasons
Darren.
that, hey,
Shout out to you.
Thank you, Darren.
Shout out to you.
Shout out
Thank
to
you
you.
for getting him there.
Absolutely.
And Vincent Patterson.
And Vincent
who's
Patterson
so
was
remarkable.
an amazing director.
Yes, he worked with Michael Jackson, Madonna,
Madonna.
many people. It's
And now
really-
at Ava's Heart.
And Ava's Heart Foundation.
And he and Darren are working on some projects together. And Darren came last year, and he was so touched by what we do that he offered to sing.
Right. Now, before we go, I know we focused a lot on the heart because that's what this family is going through. But for kidneys, where's a place? And for liver, you know, are there specialty hospitals for the particular organ, or
To be
UCLA,
really,
let's say, good with all organ transplants? Or are they more focused on heart?
UCLA
Is that
is probably,
For living.
you okay?
it
UCLA
says the infusion
is
has
good to
completed.
go for everything.
Runs it.
And here too. I mean, these are 2 of the finest.
So it's for all organs. They're good with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
And
know, I mean, they,
wanna-
you know, they do. I will say that UCLA really specializes more in livers,
Mhm.
you know, and pancreas. I
Liver and
think
pancreas. Yeah.
Cedar's main thing is hearts,
Okay.
and I think UCLA. There's a lot more lungs
Yeah.
than Cedars does. They have a much bigger department, but
Mhm.
you know, and Children's Hospital is there for.
Yes.
But they don't. They only do hearts there. I think for
And what can
kids.
people here watching do to help at Ava's Heart Foundation to any hospital they may be affiliated with? I'm sure a lot of doctors, people that have good relationships with doctors or hospitals that can kind of help out what you're doing.
You know, the thing is that there are not every good hospital is a transplant center, and
But they have patients that come in that they find needed and they need
Yes.
help. So when they identify that, it's good to have a relationship, isn't it?
oh yeah, I mean, you know, I'm trying to build relationships with other hospitals, and
Yeah.
but we need money for that. You know, I mean, I can't even help all of the people that contact
You
me
get calls from families
every
all the
day,
time. So
all
we
over the
appreciate
all
you
over the
guys
country.
watching.
So
We're gonna let
please
Marisa
help
rest.
us.
She needs to rest. We have to let her rest.
Yeah,
because
we do.
The
I
new
think
heart needs a sleep.
Thank you, Ava.
you're
Thank
so
you so
welcome.
much.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you
Very
very
much.
much.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
being
Thank you
here
for
and
helping
Thank
us.
you for letting us come in and talk about this, and we're happy to help. And now you've got a place to stay for a couple months now.
Yeah,
or-
yeah.
It's kind of month to month, right?
Mhm.
So month to month, they're getting help with rent money at their new place, so that you can come here a lot. So if anybody wants to help or has a place, some housing, an apartment that's vacant in the Los Angeles area.
Well, I think they're good with the apartment. I mean, they
Yeah,
need
we're hoping
they need
to
your
leave
money.
tomorrow at 2:00.
So good for the time you need to
Perfect,
be
yeah,
because
good
your
for
house.
They're gonna live here for good. They're not leaving.
Right.
They're not gonna go
You guys are
back
stuck
home.
with us now.
Yay!
Yay! Shout out to Ava.
Yay! They're gonna be here.
The
every
one
year.
thing that I will say that I feel so fortunate is that I live near my transplant center, which is Cedars, and I know many people who have had their transplants here, and then they switch because they can't afford to come back here, you know, for their checkups, and they've had a lot of problems. So it's best to stay with your transplant center.
Yes.
I mean, we help a lot of people come in once a year. We pay for their flight or for a place for them to stay so they can get their yearly and their bi-yearly checkups at their
We're
transplant
touching
center.
on a little bit of what Ava does, and if you want to know more, go to the website. You'll learn
Right.
so much more about it. Housing is very key. We're trying to buy a facility where we can have people stay in situations like this, and those that need to be here. That
So
house
Mama
help.
doesn't have to be
So-
sleeping in her car.
And that's right. We gotta have people in good accommodations to be supportive to their family, and also the license plate program Ava's doing is now needing how much more? You've raised most of the money. We're only down to $300,000, and
We've
every
raised
time you buy this
$250.
license plate, a portion of the proceeds will go to Ava's Heart. You see the one with the whales. You see the black plate with the yellow letters.
Well, our plate's going to be black with white, and it's going to say "One Love, One Heart."
One love, one heart. Black plate, white letters. It will look gorgeous on your car. Everybody's going to want this plate.
So if there's anybody out there that wants to write us a $300,000 check,
or
we'll
any
take it.
portion thereof, it will help get this plate program in action. Everybody can go to the DMV and buy their plate, put it in their car. So, thank you so much for watching. It's been so great having you and being
Thank
here with
you.
you and seeing you with your new heart. Every day I'm going to be asking you to keep me posted, and anytime you can reach out to me if you need anything. So now that we're like city neighbors now.
Alright.
And I look forward to seeing all of you at Ava Foundation Heroes Ball. You'll get the chance to meet this beautiful family. And have a great rest of the day. Make somebody smile today and spread love and kindness, as you know I love to do that. Take care. I'll see you next week on Karla Dawn Live, Wednesday at 5:30. All right.
Thank you, Karla.
It was wonderful.
Thank you.
It was so yeah, it was wonderful. I know, we all want to cry now
Right.
of happy tears.
Anyway.